you can always add more to a painting, but you need to
The video was recording
realize
the whole
that the
time.
painting's already been done.
Like, at what day and moment was I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
I wish I could go back and kick that sumbitch in the dick.
Whatever somebody's going through, even the little things are things that progressively get bigger. There's ways around it. There's ways to go through it. There really is.
Everything has a consequence. Everything changes with every decision that you make.
This is me versus me. It's supposed to make you feel like you're going into battle, and you sure as fuck don't look like you're going into battle.
Sounds like a commercial promotion. It's kind of great.
Makes you want to go play football or something?
I don't know. I don't play foosball.
Perfect.
It's the devil's sport.
That's why I like it. Anyhow,
Only on Tuesdays.
it's been months. It's Wednesday.
Exactly.
It's been months, and I think some of the fans miss you.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten a couple of messages and stuff.
Yep. People have wondered, why isn't Pike on the show? Where is Pike? Are you guys still talking? Is he still alive? I'm like, yes. We're just not on the same schedule all the time. He works there, I live here. It's a cunt. So, yeah, welcome back.
Yeah.
How do you like the, we were already talking about doing some pretty heavy modifications.
Yeah, it's definitely different in here. I think once we get some more changes figured out, I think it'll be good for the best.
I just had a better idea than putting that logo in the table. I want to put my LLC, that I'm not going to say right now, in the table.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah. That way, everything else around it can change, but the LLC I'll always have,
Hopefully.
in theory. Provided everything goes correctly. Yeah. On paper, it sounds really good. So,
That's alright. Mine will be over here in the corner.
that would be cool as fuck if we could etch the sponsors in on the corners.
I mean, I can.
Dope.
Not yet, but I have their stuff in the works.
Is that like a small router? A little like...
I mean, you can do it that way, but I have a plan of buying an engraver. Laser engraver.
Oh, that would be hot. I don't know if I can... I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do without a table for 3 weeks, but whatever.
Oh, it'll take longer than that.
Shit.
Just remember that last one took me a month.
Oh, really? It came out fucking good, though.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah, it came out
It was
fucking
a lot
delicious.
of fucking work, though. It was a lot of work. I mean, honestly, if I had some help, we could probably knock it out a lot quicker.
Yeah.
A lot of that is dry time. It's a week for it to fully cure. So,
Fuck. It'd be totally fucking worth it to come in here and see a fully fucking custom epoxy table with sponsors etched into it.
yeah,
That would set this thing to the next fucking level.
yeah, and it would definitely be the largest project that I've taken on. So it'll be a fun learning experience there too.
Hell yeah.
I think we could do it.
I'd be down. We got the table to do it now. I like this purchase. It was a nice find.
It's definitely a nice table. Solid.
Yeah, I was gonna
Fucking
say
heavy.
It's not fake.
No,
No, I moved it. We moved it in 3 pieces. It's real.
it's. I've thought about making it 4 pieces. You know.
Yeah.
It's,
I almost took a sawzall to it. I was like, Justin can fix this. Fuck him. He's got to record soon.
oh God.
I don't know if you can see it, but behind the hats, it's probably behind the TV. But do you see the one bald spot behind the TV?
To the left, yeah.
Is there paint missing over there too?
Oh no, there's still just the hat hanger there that there's no hat on. I thought that's what you're referencing.
Oh no, I put one of the hat hangers was over here on the wall, and I was playing with the adhesive and like testing it, and I pulled it off the wall.
Took paint with it.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's the one that was sticking really well. So frustrating. Because now all I see is this white spot.
But you guys also didn't prime the drywall before you painted.
No, we didn't do. I did half the prep.
Yeah. So
This room as a whole could definitely use like a finish.
Yeah, so basically, what size is this? This is
15 by 10.
Okay, so this is about the size of what I'm about to build on that trailer. I'm going 14 by 8.
Speaking of which, before I forget, that outside wall behind you is the
Spit it out.
nope, I don't know what it's called now. The siding is coming off.
The T111.
Sure,
Okay.
it's coming off.
Yeah.
So I need to address that sap.
And
I need to address the goddamn smell in here.
Exterior siding is supposed to have a nail every 6 inches on the perimeter and
Oh,
every 12 inches
it
on the
does.
interior studs.
Oh, didn't get that one.
Yeah, your 2 middle studs that run up the center of it, every 12 inches is supposed to have a nail.
It also doesn't help that that's 2 foot. It's because you can't see him now.
It's not. 16 on center is not required
That's
as
what that
far
is.
as.
That's what those are.
You didn't save any lumber? You saved like 1 2x4.
Well, no, it was because of the roof studs. We just lined it up with that. I don't know, dude. Listen, I was just working, okay? Mind your business. We're not gonna go back to this.
Because I thought about going up to 24 instead of 16, but it really doesn't save you very much lumber, at least on that size of a building. And the insulation's more expensive.
Yeah, it sure is. That extra. I don't even remember. 16?
8 inches.
Yeah, I think it's the 2 foot wide strips are fucking expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, I bought them for the whole roof.
Uh huh.
Jesus.
How'd you enjoy that?
Like shit. There was no lube involved. God damn it.
Now imagine doing 4 walls, a roof, and a floor.
Nope. I don't want to. Sorry, I'm adjusting my broken mic stand.
Yeah, we're gonna fix this.
It's a piece of shit, dude. Ugh. Go back down. Now you go up. Oh, not that far. Jesus. Okay, fine. Fuck it. Well, to get back on topic.
Wait, we have a topic?
Sorry, I'm hearing shit. Did you not hear anything?
I
No?
don't think so.
That's good. All right.
But I'm half deaf in one ear and I can't hear out the other.
I
so.
am too. That's what's bad. No, I was just thinking about what we were just talking about before this. We'll keep it a little bit more vague.
Oh, yes.
Basically, what he was saying was stuff along the lines of, you don't bite the hand that feed, which is pretty vague. But I was directing more of that kind of towards, like you only have, if somebody's helping you or if somebody's doing stuff for you or taking care of you in any regard, then I feel like there should be a level of constant respect for that. And you should know inside your own fucking head that there's only a certain level of asshole you should be able to be to that person.
Yeah, and I mean kind of going off of what Sage is saying is, think about it even in like your workplace. You may not like your manager, your supervisor, or whatever, but you still give them that little bit of respect for, you call it positional respect. Because they have that position that they have, you're going to give them a little bit of respect. Doesn't mean you like the person, doesn't mean you have to like the person, anything like that. But because of the position that they hold, you're going to give them a little respect.
Also doesn't mean that at work, outside of work, whatever conditions you are dealing with, also doesn't mean that you're any less than anybody. Nobody's better than anybody. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah. But so, I mean, taking it outside of the workplace, it's, what Sage was saying is, if somebody's helping you out and, they may be sacrificing some stuff themselves to be able to help better your situation, better you, help you get out of a bad situation into a better situation, or whatever the case may be. Don't just take advantage of it. Have a little bit of respect for what that person's doing for you. You know, yeah, I mean, without going into like a soapbox on it, I mean, I don't really know what else I could really say on that
Right.
because
Yeah. It's vague, but I think in my head it's pretty fucking straightforward. I have there's a couple people in my life that do stuff when we go out and I choose to not spend money, for instance. If we go out and I choose to not spend money, or if I don't want to do something because it's not smart or blah blah blah, you know, there's a couple select few people that'll just be like, I got it, and then, you know, the question is always, well, why? Because I feel undeserving of it, you know. But the answer 90% of the time is, well, because fuck it, I want to go fucking do something with you,
yeah.
and I'm like, that is the greatest fucking response for me to give any bit of respect to you for.
I want to have you around. I like doing shit with you, and
Right.
I want to go do something and not sit at home, and I don't want to do it alone.
Right.
So,
and the money's never a question, and that's what fucking, it blows my mind when people do that shit, and I fucking love it, you know. But because of that, I can't help but say that there's a certain level of respect that I'm gonna hold for that person, whether I'm gonna be pissy about something or not. I may not always voice it just because this motherfucker is always taking care of me, you know, or that this guy's fronted for me, or you know what I mean. It's just
Yeah.
respect. It's a respect thing, and I think there's a lot of people that lack that thought process, and it sucks. It sucks a lot. I mean, I guess being taken for granted is nothing new, you know.
yeah.
But I don't know. The other end of that too is you start talking about people that know what they're doing and know the moves that they're making, and now you're talking about somebody who's intentionally taking advantage. And
Well, and that's where I was gonna say. I mean, I don't want to say taken for granted, but because for me, I feel like that's spot on. But I do know that like sometimes the people just may not realize, you know, like what they're doing, or that whatever they're doing could make you feel a certain way or anything like that. And so they may not feel like they're taking for granted without something being said. And so I half-heartedly want to say, you know, not say take for granted, but at the same time, it's still taking for granted. And that's where, like, the word itself kind of comes in is, you know, they're not paying attention to the things that you do and the sacrifices you make to help them or help, you know, whatever the case may be. So
I want, in my heart of heart, I want so bad to just agree with you. I don't know, but the hardest time that I have with part of that statement is like when it comes time to let that person know, or let these people know what they're doing. The step that never seems to work out is that conversation. That
100%.
conversation usually turns into a really defensive fucking battle.
yeah, and a lot of times that comes down to the fact of people not wanting to take ownership, or they don't want to listen to the hard things that are going to be said.
Right.
And I mean that happens, and we've had conversations about that before on the podcast. It's just some people don't take well to the criticism, and whether it be constructive criticism or, you know, in a relationship being like, hey, this is not, you know, this isn't flowing well with me. Like I don't appreciate this. A lot of times people instantly, they just go into a defensive mode instead of trying to actually figure out how to resolve the issue. They want to try and make it seem like it's not an issue.
It's deflecting.
Yeah.
And they're automatically gonna, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna get turned back to you.
Yep.
You know, and I get it. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that that's 100% the wrong way. I get it. I understand it. But the next portion of the solution is the hardest part. Is you have to step back. depending on, I mean, it doesn't matter which side you're on of this. You have to step back and you have to really fucking delve into what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, both parties do, or it's not going to work. So,
Yeah, it's definitely one of those where it does take, you know, both parties to work something out, and both parties have to be willing. And I find more often than not, a lot of times people say that they're willing until it actually comes down to it, and then
right.
they don't want to actually have those hard conversations. They don't want to hear what they're doing that's affecting somebody else. And I mean, myself included in the past, I mean, there's definitely been times I've avoided certain conversations just because I didn't want to have it.
Right.
You know, I knew I fucked up, and I knew that there was nothing I could do to fix the situation. And I didn't want to see how bad it hurt somebody. So I did not want to have the conversation. Now, was that the right thing? No. Is it what ended up happening at the point in time? Yes. But, you know,
I suppose to that juncture, you could weigh in. You could, and I don't really know, like, statistically speaking, if this is correct. But at that juncture, you could weigh in how important that relationship is to you. Now, see, I guess now that I say that out loud, even if the relationship was something that you were willing to walk away from, regardless of it, you know, like a personal relationship, friendship, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever the relationship is to you, I guess the correct thing to do would be to rectify it, even if you did still want to walk away from it.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, everybody deserves that closure.
Right.
And
Okay.
knowing,
So yeah.
you know,
Hey, you like that? I had to put the pieces together so I could see it. I found the lost piece.
but yeah, even if it's hard for yourself, at some point you need to go back. You know, if you can't do it at that point in time, it's kind of like we've talked about in the past. You got to go back and, you know, at least make the attempt to circle back around. And like, I've done it myself. I've circled back around so many times to different people in my life that it may not be I directly did something wrong to them, but like, there was a point in time in my life where I was a huge asshole. I had just a horrible mindset. Terrible mindset on life. Didn't really care about other people. It was, you know, I was definitely 100% one of the people where it was like, okay, I've been screwed over so many times in life. I am doing me. I don't give a fuck what anybody else says, anything like that. Like, I am doing me. I am going to do me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who it hurts, what it hurts, who's affected by it. And especially like towards the end of like my school career, like high school career, stuff like that. And I've reached out and to several people, especially ones that I know that it affected the most. And some of them have been open to allowing me to say my piece and talk to them and explain to them, hey, you know, I've done a lot of growing. You know, I'm not looking to try and mend friendships. I'm not looking to do any of that. I just want to let you know I'm not the same person that I used to be. And I would like to try and rectify the situation in any way, you know, in any way possible. You know, and again, I'm not trying to come back and be like, hey, let's be friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just trying to make sure that there's no bad blood between us.
Right.
You know that if it ever comes down to it and you absolutely need somebody, we may not be friends, but you can still call me and I'll be there. And you don't have to think of me as, you know, some type of asshole that's going to tell you, well, figure it out yourself. And, you know, I've also, on the flip side, I've had people tell me, no, you know, you've done too much damage. I have no desire to talk to you. And you can't argue with them at that point. Like, you did what you did. You know, you have to let them know, yeah, all right, I respect what you're saying. You know, hopefully some point in the future we can, you know, try and talk things out, but I understand where you're coming from, and leave it at that. Like, don't push the situation. Don't be like, oh no, I'm not. No, you were an asshole to them. You did treat them like crap. You have to respect the way that they feel now. Like, actions have consequences.
Yeah, they fucking do. That they fucking do.
And it's why even still today, like, I'll just kind of disappear because I'll notice myself kind of falling back into the same, just not caring. And so I'll disappear and just go do me for a while.
Yeah.
And
But it's so strange, man, because if there's one, it's probably negative, but one of the things that I relate to out of everything that you just said was doing stuff on my own. Like I do that, I distance myself quite a bit for whatever reason. I feel like it's necessary sometimes, but I hate it. I hate it. I don't know why. I don't understand it at all. But
well, for me, I know, like, some of the times when I do it, it's because I am so self-aware of stuff that I have done in the past, and the fact that I have tried fixing situations and tried at least having the conversations and stuff like that. When I feel like somebody's done me wrong, I hold that grudge. And I hold on to it with the hopes that that person's gonna realize at some point what they did and try and do something to rectify the situation. And so I know, like, that for me, that's a lot of it. That's why a lot of times I'll end up separating myself, is because I just don't want anything to do with it. Like, because I know with my mindset, once I feel like I've been wronged by somebody, I'm just going to keep pushing into it, and it's going to end up turning into a lot worse than what it needs to be.
yeah. It sure does feel like, after doing this for almost a year and a half now, sure does feel like the road that we constantly speak on is definitely the hardest path to follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not. That's not a pity me statement. That's just an acknowledgement. I don't understand why more people aren't. It just doesn't make sense to me. Why wouldn't people rather rectify something and move on rather than, bury that part of your mental stability?
Well, I'd
That
say
doesn't make sense to me.
I'd say sometimes it's people not wanting to, but I'd say a lot of the time it's people don't realize that they did something.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I do, because
Especially for, like, myself. Like, if somebody does something that I feel wasn't right, I mean, you've witnessed it yourself. A lot of times I'll disappear.
yeah.
I won't say nothing about it. I won't voice what I won't voice what I feel is wrong, because I want that person to have that realization themselves. I don't want to feel like, for lack of better terms, that the apology, whether it be an apology or whatever it ends up actually truly being, I don't want that feeling like it's being forced. And to me, just the way that my brain works, if I were to say something to somebody and be like, hey, this is how I'm feeling, that automatic I'm sorry that you get, I feel is just a forced I'm sorry, like, hey, let's just get rid of this.
Right.
I don't feel like it's an actual genuine, like, they realize what happened and they actually mean it.
I honestly feel like the realization that you're waiting for, I've spent, obviously exaggerating, but the instance that you speak of, I feel like I've spent 3 lifetimes waiting for in some different places. Yeah, I don't, waiting for it seems pointless. It seems abysmal. It's not something that people are usually willing, as far as I can tell, it's not something that people are going to willingly want to do.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, and I agree. It's not really the best route, but it's kind of the way that my mind ends up working on things.
I mean,
It's
me too. When I feel like I've done wrong, or when I feel like I've been wronged, I mean, there's still things about middle school that I'd love to hear about. you know, I just don't think that's the way the world turns, which sucks because it leaves a lot of doors, a lot of doors closed. It leaves a lot of stories untold. So, but we are far beyond things that I understand at this point. I am not qualified to talk about anything past this, so we're going to leave those doors closed for the minute. But, yeah, it's, we find ourselves on this very narrow path, and it's strange because there's so much grateful, there's so many grateful people in the world that have expressed how grateful that they are to be able to listen to the stories and be able to listen to the experiences and the heartfelt conversations that we have on here, But that's it. And it's weird to me that people just enjoy it and don't want to indulge more into it. I'm gonna fucking break this thing if it doesn't get out of my way. I don't know how many times I've hit it, but
yeah, and I mean, I get what you're saying there too, because it's like, for me, I have such a curious mindset. Like, if I get on if I start hearing a story, and it's kind of left, and I feel like there's more information there, I have to know what's going on. Like, I can't sit there and be like, all right, well, that was good enough. That's what they shared. Like, no, I need more answers. Like, I need to know what's going on.
yeah, man, the details are what gets me, and that's a whole nother thing too. Is when you talk about people just kind of shutting down a conversation with a simple "I'm sorry" or "Oh, okay, yeah, whatever" kind of thing. I'm like, well, now I just feel like shit for wasting your time.
Yeah.
We didn't get anything accomplished, just so you know. That did not help me at all.
I'm still pissed off.
Yeah. I can't speak for you, but I still really want to punch you in the mouth. So, see if I can do this without seeing in there.
2 shots of vodka.
That's plenty for now. One of the things, actually a couple of things that my mom used to tell me growing up, I didn't necessarily get bullied a bunch. It wasn't like I was the victim of a bunch of different shit. I did get picked on, but I wasn't bullied, They always used to tell me that I'm supposed to just laugh it off or laugh with them, or as I get older they start explaining to myself, make fun of yourself with them, And these are just, I feel like these are just foundational resources of just these fucking band-aids, these fucking nasty ass band-aids, that habits that people should not ever develop. Now, I'm not saying every time somebody says something negative to you, fucking cry about it. That's not what I'm saying. But
Yes, you are.
I have this habit now. I mean, I could say I don't give a fuck about what people say about me, but anybody can say that. It's fucking lie. To some degree, everybody cares a little bit. I mean, I'll dig into some scars with people if they want to talk shit about me. We'll fucking get this thing done, And I feel like that's such a shitty fucking habit to indulge in somebody else's negative fucking net worth and just help them dig into you. How good is that for your fucking mental health?
Well, and I've even told people that are close to me, I am not going to be around or associate with people that have a negative mindset. I'm not gonna put up with it.
Mm-hmm.
I have enough negativity in my own mind. I don't need to be around somebody else that is acting in a negative manner. I do my best to not put forward any negative energy. And so, like, because when I'm around that negativity, I soak that shit up like a sponge.
Dude, and it just makes you feel fucking grimy. You know, it makes you feel like shit. Like, why do people want to be so ugly to each other all the time? Why, you know? I love shutting it down, too. They try and drag you into it. They'll ask you some question. Doesn't that guy look like a fucking idiot? And you're like, looks like a normal dude in a hat to me. Like, oh, okay. I hate it, dude. I love shutting it down, though. When people do that shit. People you know, people I know. Fucking every time we go out anywhere, somebody's always got to try and bring that shit up. Just something fucking negative, you know? And you're like, no, man.
Yeah, I don't understand why, like,
We gotta drag
why in
somebody
this
down.
world we have to constantly, like, bash on somebody. Why can't we help build people? Like, help, you know, bring people up.
Right.
Like, because I guarantee you, everybody you meet is going through something. And for them, it may not be at this point in time in their life, but at some point in time in their life, they've gone through what they feel is the worst thing that has ever happened to them. Now, it may not be what you think is near as bad as what you've been through or whatever you want to say, but to them, it's the worst thing that they've ever gone through.
A fresh cut is a fresh cut.
And so
They hurt.
for you to sit there and, like, constantly want to bash on somebody, or to me, all that's telling me is you feel bad about yourself, so you're trying to make yourself look better compared to others.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get other people to help you justify that you're better than that person that you don't even know.
Fuck. Sorry.
I didn't do it.
No, the video is still fucking paused. Cool. 6 seconds.
All right.
Carry on.
No video on this one.
No video on this one.
All right.
That was gay as AIDS. Shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. Just frustrated.
Now you're getting canceled.
No, there's actually a. Remind me when we're done. I'm not gonna bring it up on air because it's close to home, but there's been a couple instances of what you're saying that have happened. A couple of, well, you haven't really been around the group, but there's a couple things that I want to share with you that have happened with people that are close to us. It's the same fucking thing though. There's somebody that's close to us that's they're trying like hell to do right by them, and they're trying like hell to do things better for them. But yet, there's still fucking people in our little clique that like to talk shit and drag down. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing that I don't understand, and
It's so ugly.
not
dude.
just our friend group, but friend groups in general. Like, when people are trying to better themselves, like you talked about it earlier, but you talked about the good side of it, but you kind of ignored the bad side that happens. Like when people are inviting you out and you're like, oh, well, I don't have the money for it, or I don't want to spend the money on that because of I got this and this going on, and my money's being diverted towards that. Or there's times where I have the money and it's just I feel guilty if I spend the money on that.
Right.
And because I've got other things that I have in mind of what I want to do or what I should be doing. And a lot of people just try and make you feel bad about it. It's like,
yeah, you're 100% right, dude. I definitely did not acknowledge that.
and it's like, okay, can you accept the fact that I'm trying to do something to get myself into a better position so that I can more comfortably do this stuff and not have to feel guilty about it?
Yeah.
Like,
My favorite, man, when it comes down to this shit is, well, it's so-and-so's birthday tonight. I'm sure they'd really like it if you came out. I'm like, that would be awesome if it wasn't going to send me into a place where I couldn't get to work.
yeah, so-and-so's birthday doesn't put more fuel in my truck.
I'm sure they'll have another one next year. I'm sorry. Yeah, man, it's definitely shit like that. And when people tell me, like, I just don't have the money, I'm like, oh, I fucking get it. Totally fucking get it. I'll see you soon. You know? or the other part of this conversation. I don't know. I obviously don't know if all the listeners drink or don't drink or what the statistics look like there. I can't say shit. I do, however, if you haven't guessed by now. He does.
I do not.
Most days. And my favorite conversation to have is, hey, you can come to the bar tonight? And be like, probably not. I don't really have the money I need to spend for it, you know? And they're like, well, just don't drink.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, come to the shooting range.
just
and
have one beer. I'm like, I don't know if you've ever drank before, but one is not going to stop me from buying 17 more. So let's use your fucking brain. How about we not encourage your friend to do shit he doesn't need to do? Have you ever gone to the shooting range with a loaded gun?
I mean, that's like asking me to take my race truck out to the races and not run it down the track.
Right.
Like,
Are you fucking mental?
like even when I've gone to the track and not brought the truck, I'm sitting there and I'm like, it's not fun. It's
And they give you
since I've started racing, it's not fun to me to just go to the races and sit and watch.
you get a guilt trip with it.
I don't enjoy it.
You get a fresh combo of come out and don't drink with a side of guilt.
Yeah.
Well, you can't just come hang out with your friends and not drink. You're a piece of shit for that.
Or my favorite one. Oh, well, who needs alcohol to have fun? Perfect. So why do you guys go to the bar? You can come hang out at the house.
Right.
Like,
I got plenty of shit here.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, don't be that fucking guy. Don't do that. God damn it! I can't believe it wasn't fucking recording.
That's fine.
That's irritating.
It's fine.
Well, the back half of this will get fucking posted.
Great.
Awesome.
My
It's all
ugly
right.
mug is going to be out there again.
Technically, you moved again, so you're behind the mic.
Oh, perfect. I like it. What?
Just looks like you're wearing it.
Good. That's how it should be. I should not be seen on camera. I just heard. It's like when I was a child. I should not be seen or heard.
For little boys, that's usually never a good thing. It means they're into some shit. You're like, it's awkwardly quiet. You go into your fucking room and the wall's down, and you're like, well, I deserve that.
I felt like there would be more space.
Yeah. I fucking deserve that. So, thank you for doing that. Let's come on out here where I can see you. Thank you for expanding my bedroom. But we're going to move forward.
Now I have a really big walk-in closet.
Yeah. By the way, I'm impressed you got all the drywall down in one piece. Shit. Oh, man. Well,
So you want to come build a trailer?
yeah, I mean, I would love to.
You want to come demo a trailer?
No?
Oh,
I mean, yes, but no.
okay.
Why do you want to tear one down?
I have to tear it down before I can build it.
Elaborate.
Oh, I sent you the picture.
I don't remember it, but you sent me something.
Okay. I got a travel trailer
Mm.
that's probably like an 80s or 90s model
Mm-hmm.
and was abandoned.
Oof.
So it's not in the greatest of conditions.
What years? I mean, what years? How long is it? No connection to either of those questions.
It's 26-foot deck
Perfect.
plus the overhang.
We can fit a race truck.
So yeah, so we're gonna drop it down to frame, take the travel trailer off, make it to where it's just the fifth wheel frame, reinforce the frame, build a 9-foot bed space over top of the overhang, and then a 5-foot camper space attached to that. So it'd be a total 14-foot quote-unquote camper on the front half of the trailer. And then I'm going to put a 5 to 7 foot extension on the rear of the trailer.
I was gonna ask. I'm like, I hope he's got fucking reasons for doing all this because it doesn't add up right now.
So you're gonna put a 5 to 7 foot extension off the rear, and that'll be. The race truck is smaller than both the side by sides. If you put the side by sides together, they're longer than the race truck.
Yeah.
So if I can fit both side by sides on the trailer, which is what the end goal is, then I can fit the race truck, no problem. And then that will be that all will stay flatbed. It's all gonna get converted to flatbed.
Dude, that's a lot of fucking tail weight.
The box on the front's gonna weigh 3,000 pounds.
Doesn't that truck weigh like 7?
6 to 7, somewhere's in there.
I don't know, man. That makes me uncomfy.
You gotta have, well, so you gotta remember, since I'm adding that weight or adding that tail section, it's going, my axle placement's gonna be kind of funky.
Is that motor going to be over axle?
Yeah.
Okay, that might help me a little bit, but still makes me uncomfy.
So it's gonna have a lot of forward weight.
Hopefully.
And I can show you all the pictures. I have.
That too, if you load it down.
So you gotta remember, I can't go over 10,000 pounds total trailer weight legally.
Well, not with that attitude. He said legally, and I was like, oh, hit the brakes. Can't. Shit.
You need one of them fancy green driver's licenses for that
Oof. That's awkward.
that I don't have.
Yeah, I get that.
If I hit 10,001 pounds, I need a fancy green driver's license.
Really? For all that? That's it?
So I'm trying to figure out how these people with these toy haulers get away with it, because I know they're well over 10,000 pounds.
Oh, yeah. A camper with a garage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
They jam some wild shit in there, too.
Yeah, you put a full sand car in there with 2 sets of tires,
Yeah.
because they don't fit in there with paddles on.
And camper stuff, like water and shit.
Yeah.
Way over 10.
Yeah, because most of those have a 115-gallon water tank.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever pulled a wet camper. Fuck. My 23-footer loaded down with water was like 8.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people will tow empty and then fill up with water at a water station
And-
close to where they're going.
Yeah, nobody told me that. I
Because
filled it up here.
how much you spend in water at the water station is cheaper than the extra fuel you use.
By a long shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bullshit. The way you learn, I guess. Yeah, there's got to be stipulations, dude, because most trucks nowadays are rated for 13, 14.
Well, and that's like what I was thinking, because the new F-150s, I mean, with the max tow package and the 3.5 EcoBoost, that's got a 12.5 tow or 13.5, something like that, tow rating.
Right.
So it's like, okay, if it's rated to tow it, but you can only legally tow 10, like,
There's technicalities there.
and that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I know of people,
The fucking power wagons will do 14.
well, and I know people that have literally taken a semi with a 53-foot reefer unit,
Mhm.
so you're like produce trailers,
Yeah.
and they converted that produce trailer into a camper, so it was legal to drive without a CDL. But it's like, okay, so that truck, obviously, how do you get away with driving a semi without a CDL? So I think it has something to do with the
There's
living
like,
quarters.
There's like domicile. There's technicalities for the home. It's got to be.
And so that's what I'm trying to figure out, because
Well, it's Arizona, and not a lot of people give a fuck out here. Don't quote me on those laws, but
realistically, I want to register it as a utility trailer so that I can get perm tags. But at the same time, if it makes it to where I don't have to worry about weight rating,
yeah, I'd register that bitch and insure it. Call her a day.
yeah, we'll play around with it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I think there's fucking trucks out there. Now they're 3500s, 4500s that'll do. They're rated for on the high end like 18.
I think the 250s are rated, or the 350s are rated more than that.
Yeah,
I think they're like 24.
I think the F350 is fucking way the fuck up there, dude.
I think the 350 crew cab long bed
Oh.
dually is.
They do fucking work.
I think it's like. I seriously think it's like 24.5.
They do fucking work, man. So 10 isn't shit in this day and age.
really not. Especially considering like camp trailers there's some over 40 foot.
Well, 10's not even that bitch. 10's scratching the surface on a 40 footer. So.
And that's another thing I'm trying to figure out because so you know how in Arizona you can triple tow as long as it's a fifth wheel or gooseneck.
Yep.
As the middle. But your max length is only allowed 62 and a half feet or 67 feet, something like that, 65 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's somewhere in that range.
That's reasonable.
But my truck alone is 18 foot. And that's from front bumper of tow vehicle to rear bumper of last trailer.
Are you talking about the race truck?
Yeah. So if I take... Well, the race truck's the shortest out of all of them that I would use as a tow vehicle. The 7.3's a boat.
That thing is sexy.
So
love that truck.
You take 18 foot on the race truck, and then say you hook that to my trailer, which will be about 32 foot once I'm done, of just deck. So then you still have the 4 foot of overhang, but a little bit of that overlaps, so you have like 2.5, 3 foot.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're talking another 35 foot off the back of that. So now we're already at 50 foot, and so I can only put a 10 foot trailer at the back. How does that make sense?
I mean, realistically, there's a lot of motherfuckers that shouldn't be hauling that third piece.
Well, I mean, realistically, how do you get away with some of these road coaches that people drive?
Oh yeah, dude, the fucking C's, the Class C's.
Yeah, how do you get away with driving them things without a CDL?
I think
That look like a fucking tour bus.
I don't know, but those bitches are big. Some of them are fucking long.
They are massive.
Yeah.
My ex's grandparents that had one, when he pulled it out to help me work on the boat, I didn't realize how big the thing was when it was sitting next to his house.
Fucking.
And then he starts pulling it out from next to the house, and I'm like, holy, is this thing ever gonna end?
Tandem dually fucking pushers.
I'm like, oh my
You know what I mean?
God.
You're like, what are we doing here? Is this gonna take us to Mars? Yeah, we'll have to figure it all out. Because we got some playing to do apparently.
We got a tight time frame too.
Why?
First race is April 6th.
Oh. Well, maybe now that circumstances are different. Well, you know, it would be fucking great if somebody would start coming out with products for my truck, so that way we can make it a race truck too. It'd be wonderful. Unless you want to start learning how to CAD.
How to what?
CAD? You can cut your own parts.
Oh.
Because we could trailer that thing out too. So that way when we break it, you notice it's not if, it's when.
That's why I'm so adamant about trying to get this trailer done.
Yeah.
I've raced this truck for, I think 2018 was the first season I raced it full time.
It's only a matter of time before you come back with a wheel hanging off.
And so you figure 2018, 2019, end of 2019, they shut down because of COVID. They started back up whenever they did after, COVID subsided a little bit,
Yeah, yeah.
And then I've raced it pretty religiously since then. And I'm getting to that point where, like, I am very comfortable with the work that I do. I am. I trust the work that I do. I trust that the work that I did on that truck is done right. I was very adamant about torque specs on everything. But how many big performance shops blow motors in half constantly?
Oh, literally in half.
And so it's like, okay, I did this in my driveway. Like, Craftsman tools, not saying anything bad about Craftsman, but I mean, you compare...
We're talking about the level of a budget builder. The typical builder is going to be on a budget.
Yeah, and like, this is not a shop-built truck.
No.
It has leaks. I am still running stock bottom end. I haven't even taken the head off of this truck.
I don't even want to drive it. Me and her, we don't get along.
And so I know I've pushed my luck to a boundary, and I don't feel comfortable pushing it any farther until I have something that I know how I'm going to get it home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we've always joked around, oh, well, we got straps. We could, we could tow it home. That's a 30-minute drive
With a
doing
truck,
freeway speeds with the truck running.
with a truck that may not be towable.
And at that point in time, I mean, we're not talking a truck that may not be towable. You're talking, even if you do end up flat strapping that all the way back, that's 30 minutes at 80 miles an hour.
Well, we can just
We're doing 20 towing this thing.
start legalities. It's not legal.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, well,
So,
yeah.
and especially, go legality. The racetrack is behind a prison. The racetrack is legal, but
I was like, okay.
it's out behind Lewis Prison. So, I mean, to get back out to the freeway, you're literally flat strapping it past a prison. It's
Sweet. Somebody's going to end up there. Well,
I feel like we're going down tangents again.
yeah, we are. But it's okay. Is there anything you want to add before you close out? You want to plug your shit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I had the business officially running last time that I was here, but
I'm talking
yeah,
about it.
the LLC is all set up now. Getting everything going. I do have the link tree mostly made. I haven't made a website for the business because I'm not really sure if I'm going to or not. Just because of the nature of the business that I do, it is very custom. So I feel like having that direct conversation with people is going to be better than trying to do it through a website. So, but the link tree does have ways that you can get a hold of me. It's got links to my TikTok. Has soon we'll have Instagram, stuff like that, once I get a little bit more content to be able to put up on there. And it does have different payment methods. So if you look up Damn It Boy on Damn It Boy LLC on TikTok and soon Instagram and Facebook, you will be able to find me on there. Otherwise, you can just reach out to Sage through the podcast, and he can get you in touch with me.
Yep.
Doing mainly epoxy tables, a little bit of welding, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say if there's any questions or anything like that, you comment on any of the ways that you're listening. If you're listening on YouTube or on Spotify, anything like that, or send us an email at meversusme info@gmail.com. I will get you in touch with him. Anything you need welded, for the most part, he can handle. Custom welding, custom jobs, things like that. And like he said, he's creating these amazing epoxy tables. So if you want more info on that, feel free to shoot me a message and I will get you in touch with him for some more pictures and beautiful artwork, by the way. So, as always, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you listening. Peace out.